What's up, YouTube? It's Chris with Murphy Firearms Training. Got this 44 Magnum tracker. Was out at the range with it the other day, having some trouble. Make sure you understand how a revolver works. So the revolver, you've got this this peg here that locks in the front of the cylinder. You've got this peg here that locks in the bottom of the cylinder, and you've got this guy here, okay, that goes into this spot. Let me grab a pin. Let's see if I can. That goes right here. Okay, it goes right here into the frame, and that is your cylinder release. And so when you close this up, this should go into that hole, and it should lock your cylinder, and it's not. And so you should have to push this forward. This should actually, when you close the cylinder, this should get moved back, and it's not. And this is why. When you push this in, it's sticking. Now, if I take the ejector rod and I work this ejector star a few times, it'll pop back out. But every time that I push this in all the way, so I'll take the ruler here, push it in all the way, it's sticking. So either there's some gunk down in there, or this is slightly deformed. Either way, we got to get this cylinder apart. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And again, this is a Taurus. Every gun is different, but this is a Taurus, and I'll show you how it works. So this little doodad is left-hand thread. What that means is normally it's lefty-loosey. This time it's actually righty-loosey. So it's left-hand thread. So we're going to unthread this rod. Okay? Now this one was tight enough I actually had to use a pair of pliers on it. Okay? Had to use a pair of pliers on it. Now, Smith & Wesson and all of the Taurus copies, this screw here will actually undo the yoke for the cylinder if you want to get the whole cylinder off. But we take that rod off, and I'll show you the next step. Tip the muzzle forward. There should be a spring. There she is. Okay, there's your spring. And then normally this pin would fall out. Right? It would fall out here. And in this case, it's not. So we're going to have to tap it out with a punch. So you're going to need a real fine punch here. I got a 3/32 punch here, and I'm just going to lightly tap this and try to dislodge it. Okay, so we're going to, and I figured that because it's getting stuck, it's pretty tight. There it goes. Okay, so now that's loose, and out it falls. So my guess, and it looks fine, but my guess on this particular gun, because it's tight coming out of the hole and it's dirty, I'm going to clean in there and clean this gun up real good. But my guess on this gun is that this metal has somehow slightly deformed or gotten a burr. There is a little ring if you look closely. So I'm actually going to take some 1000 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to do this and clean this up. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to put it back together and see if that works. All right, guys, so I've got this loose, and I've got some cleaner, put some cleaner on this pipe cleaner, clean out that hole in there. Do be careful. You could pull it on this ejector star, it will come out. I'm going to go ahead and pull mine out and just give it a clean. There's some grit and some grime and some nastiness on this, and show you if you give this a wipe. And I'm going to lube it up with some dry lube. I like to use dry lube in places like this. I don't like to, oh, and by the way, clean under it while you got it out if you see how gritty that is. Just get in here with a Q-tip or a rag, or not my gun. It is a gun I borrowed from someone, and I don't know that the ejector star's ever been cleaned behind, but clean behind it, it gets really nasty. And since you got it out, you might as well. So clean it up real good. I'm going to use some dry lube. There's several on the market. This is just one I happen to have handy. But you'll notice in this star there are 2 holes, and there are 2 holes, 2 pegs, boom, boom. You got to make sure that those line up. If they don't, this thing will not function. It should only go back one way, but, you know, just because. So, all right, guys, so a little more sanding. I got this cleaned up real good. A little more sanding, and I'll show you what it should do. So here's your star. And here's your little detent piece, and you drop it in, and you should be able to shake it, and it should pop right out, and it should be that easy. It should be that easy So just a little more sanding. I actually ended up taking a little 440 grit to this. So a little more sanding, and it should pop just like that. Now with this piece in the star, I'm going to put it back in the cylinder. So line this up. Got to keep it horizontal. Normally I would show you guys a better view of this, but if I tip it up, it's going to fall out. Put the spring back, put the rod back, and when we push this all together, it should push that detent out. Remember, it is lefty-tighty. Okay, it is lefty-tighty. Not lefty-loosey, lefty-tighty. So get that good and snug. And what you should see is, if I push that in, it should, ta-da, and the cylinder locks up now. So you got a working revolver. Voila. So that's all there is to it, folks. A lot of these Taurus and Smith & Wessons are also famous for this. You'll be shooting and the rod will get loose on you, or this thing here will jam up and the cylinder won't close. It's two of the most common things that will happen with these revolvers. And so a lot of times, like if you've got a gun that's very, like you're trying to eject it and it's like really hard, check and just make sure this rod is not loose. I've actually found one that was 4 turns loose. So make sure it's good and snug. And then the other one is this thing here getting jammed up on me. It's not the first gun I've had that happen to. Wanted to video it and show it to you guys, so that's how you fix it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.